And what's up, everyone? I'm Joe DeHoyos. I am the host of Beyond the Woodline. And with me tonight, I've got Angelina and Christina from Bad to the Bone Paranormal Researchers. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you, Joe?
I'm doing good, guys. First of all, thanks a lot for coming on the show. I really do appreciate it. I know we've been in contact, going back and forth and stuff, so I'm glad we were able to get this thing going. You
Well,
know,
thank you for the
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah, yeah, sure. And uh, real quick, just want to make like a little announcement. I might have a sponsor for my show. It just kind of fell into my lap. So it's a good thing. It's actually I'm in the business of printing, and we do like banners and signs and poster boards and all this kind of stuff. And I told my boss today, I was like, hey man, I know a lot of people, they have all these conferences and people are always looking for banners and stuff like that, and posters or what business cards, flyers, whatever. I said, I'll promote you guys on my show. And he said, man, if you promote us, we'll sponsor you. And I was like, shit, hell yeah.
Hell
So,
yeah. Well, thank you.
so I mean,
Yeah.
it don't cost much for the show a month, but that's little money, that I don't have to come out with. So, yeah,
Right.
thank you, Walter. But yeah, man,
Yes.
all you guys on Facebook, just say Facebook user, you have to give StreamYard permission to use you.
We shot
But
it out as much.
yeah. So, Angelina, you want to go first? Tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into the paranormal.
Yeah. Again, my name's Angelina. I am the team lead for Back to the Bone Paranormal Researchers. I got into paranormal research 4 years ago via trespassing, so I don't suggest that. And that's how my career started, and I've been off and running ever since. I'm addicted. I'm very afraid to die, so I want to know what's going to happen when I die and if I can go where I want to go.
Okay. Christina, what got you started into this crazy little world?
I've always been interested in it growing up, I guess. I watched a lot of TV, which TV is not the reality of actually doing it.
All right.
But um, I met her, and she had her own team, so that was kind of interesting to me. So I just kind of decided to go with it one day, and ever since I've come to like it.
Cool. So like, what was your first like validation that something was out there? The first time you said, "Oh shit, this is real," Christina.
You got 2 hours?
um, that would probably be. Well, before we went to Octagon Hall, we actually went and took a trip to Bobby Mackey's just to do a tour. And we're standing there, and the tour guide's talking, and all of a sudden I look over to my right, back in this far back corner, and I seen a shadow figure standing in the corner. And I was scared. I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to interrupt the lady, so I'm just like, "Oh my God, did I really just see what I just seen?" And finally, I said something, and that the tour lady was like, "Yep, I seen it too." And she said, "I just turn my head and keep going." And she actually seen it too, so it validated that what I seen, I actually see. So that was one of the biggest moments for me.
Really?
Yeah.
What about you, Angelina?
I will have to say the biggest moment for me, and it still haunts me to this day, and this is going on 4 years now. I was at Postown Elementary School in Middletown, Ohio, and I had lived there for 8 months. And one day I went down to help Ventures Paranormal with a public investigation. I saw two elderly people. They were in their late 70s, early 80s. I could tell you exactly what they were wearing. The old guy was carrying one of those old VHS tapes our parents used to carry back in the day, and the lady had a Polaroid camera. And I said, hey, welcome to Post Town. The investigation's going to start in about 10, 15 minutes. And clearly, you see me standing there talking to them. They were never there. We shut down the whole entire building, flipped on all the lights, and I think it's 36,000 square feet. Put on all the lights and searched. The caretaker searched the CCTV from 12 noon. That then people never entered that building.
Really?
Still haunts me to this day, and I'm looking at them like I'm looking at you, and I'm 5 feet away.
That
So
is,
that
yeah,
was the first
that's pretty
experience.
crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
um, because I hear stuff like that, and every time I hear it, it's one of the freakier experiences or encounters that a person can have. I think and it's nothing necessarily scary, but it's just such it messes with your head a little bit, doesn't it?
It did. I mean, here we are 4 years later. I actually took a break for almost 2 years because mentally living in that environment and being around the spirits all the time, and that school is very active. There's no doubt about it. It mentally messed with me. I'm just now getting over having nightmares,
Mhm.
terror, things like that, and slowly getting back into the paranormal. Well,
Really?
I say I kind of jump in,
Okay.
but it
Okay.
did mess with me mentally. Yeah, absolutely. And every day I wonder, who are you and
Right.
why?
Right.
Why?
So what was it that that messed with you so much? Can you explain that?
I really can't. I When I first moved into the school, I was staying in a visitor's overnight bedroom, and I started having dreams every night of people being murdered. Never had that happen. There's no documentation of murders at this school. It's a very friendly haunt, for most of the time. And then when I moved into another section of the school that wasn't so much investigated, I started seeing people just come to me, dead people, just
Really?
now. And I see it a lot and it bothers me, something I don't like. I don't want to go through it. I'm in it to investigate. I'm not in it to see the
Right.
things I see. I'm dealing with that now,
Right.
and it's hard,
Um,
but yeah, it's very
so
scary.
so this ability or gift, it just something that just kind of happened.
I think so because I wasn't seeing them too much at Post On. I was seeing a lot of white shadows, a lot of mist. I never saw a dark shadow until we went to Bobby Mackey's.
Mhm.
But when I was Post Town, that's when I started seeing dead people just walking up to me and reaching out. And sometimes I feel like they're suffocating me. And it causes Christina a lot of sleepless nights because we are partners.
Right.
So try explaining that to somebody you just meeting and you tell them, oh, I'm a ghost hunter, right? A paranormal investigator. And he wakes up to me freaking out.
Yeah. So Christina, what was that like for you with her having these experiences? What was it for you? I mean, did you believe her, or was it hard for you to believe?
Well, no, I believe her 100%, no doubt. And I only say this because not only have I witnessed certain things while she's sleeping, but there's one particular time she had woke up. We had spent the night with a friend we went to go see, and I'm just watching her and watching her. She's moving all over the bed, doing this, doing that. Next thing I know, I look over and her eyes are open and she's literally talking to somebody standing next to the side of the bed. And I'm like, I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of let her go and do her thing. And then she'd turn around and look at me and be like, "Do you see them? Do you hear them?" And I'm like, "No, I don't see anything." She's like, "They're there, they're there." Like she wakes up seeing things quite a bit, and
Right.
it is scary. I try to help her through it the best that I can because I'm no
Right.
expert by any means, but I try to help the best I can.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, that's what you can do, right? As your partner, and you got to try to do something and pat her on her back sometimes, right? That's all you can do. But
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Walter has a comment for you. Do you get anxiety attacks, or do you have it under control, and if so, how do you manage to control it?
Um, I don't know. I don't know if I have panic attacks when I awaken from it. I do know that when I'm out investigating and I see these people, I internally panic, but I try to calm myself down and not allow myself to be vulnerable and let them in. But that's hard. It's very hard for me to do. There's a lot of times lately where I'll get up and I'll just walk outside from an investigation. And that recently just happened where I left my team hanging, but I just had to get out. I had to get
Right.
out. And I feel like I'm crazy.
You're not crazy. You're not the first one to experience this, but have Do you have any mentors that have tried to help you or that are helping you?
Um, and nothing against mediums and psychics and all that. I have reached out to a few, but
Mm.
they want a lot of money
Okay.
to help. I did reach out to somebody who said basically when they come to say, hey, look, I know you need my help. For what reason, I don't know. I can't help you right now. I'm trying to understand these abilities myself. And I try to say that, but it doesn't seem to work. Um, so I'm kind of just trusting my faith in God and doing the best that I can with it. It seems like the more investigations I go on, the better it's possibly getting. I'm
Okay.
starting to find whatever it is that's happening to me,
Okay.
but I don't want it to happen.
That's good. So so what have been some of your favorite places to investigate? And Angelina, you can answer that first.
Man, that's tough. I don't want anyone to get mad out there. We just recently did the world's largest ghost hunt at General Ashel Stone Mansion in Winchester, but my all-time favorite is Octagon Hall in Franklin, Kentucky.
Okay.
If you've never been scared shitless, this location to go.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think there were 6 of us. We were with Oldham County Paranormal. Shannon Humphreys is a team lead. And I think all of us were on our toes all night long. So much so that it started the minute we walked in, and Christina yelled at everybody. I think something got into her because she's not a yeller. About aren't we supposed to F and pray before we start this? And that was her very first investigation I threw her into.
It was
Wow.
So
a very terrifying one at that, but
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
it's a must visit location. It definitely is.
Okay. Well, cool. So Christina, was that like your favorite place to go, or not your favorite place to go?
Well, that's kind of a tough question, you see.
Right. Yeah.
So far, yes, and I only say that because I experienced a lot of things that night for it being my first investigation. I learned a lot um, by the people that I was with, and I guess I don't know. I just learned a lot. Put it that way.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. So, so when you guys are going on a vacation, on the investigations, what kind of equipment do you use, or do you use anything, or just yourselves?
Yeah, I'm more old school. Living at the school, studying the paranormal 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every chance I got. I had the great opportunity to learn from a lot of people. Um, so I'm a big, huge Keith Age supporter. I don't know if you've heard of Keith Age. He's an amazing guy. He's been in it for a long, long time. Um, I have a mentor for being a team lead. I reach out to another team lead from Oldham County Paranormal. So there's been a lot of teams I learned from, but I like doing EVPs, taking
Mhm.
pictures, and I like recording video.
Okay.
I'm not big on the equipment. I'm not telling people not to try it. I do like the REM pod. I'm getting more skilled with the SLS. Um, But if I had my way and I've done it, I'll take the equipment and I'll take all the batteries out and then I'll tell a spirit, make that you got that much energy, light it up.
Right. Uh,
I'm
yeah.
old school and Lorraine type.
There you go.
But with my
This-
team members, I want them to try everything. Everything, try the equipment, try the EVPs. We're right now practicing and they're learning sensory deprivation, which
mhm.
that's
Right.
pretty creepy
Yeah.
times. So I think Christina likes the EVPs as well.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, I love doing the EVPs. I like taking pictures, but I'm definitely more of an EVP kind of girl.
Yeah. Have you ever caught any really good ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any favorites you can talk about?
Um, at Post Town we got one, and it was a boy versus girl. So the boys were down in the basement, the girls were on the top level, and we were messing with a fake spider on the desk, and we were like, "Oh my god, that looks real!" And all of us girls are freaking out. And clearly, clear as day, you can hear in the audio. then why you messing with it for? It was a man.
Huh.
And man, did that blow our minds. And when I go back and I watch the whole live video, you can hear two spirits having conversations while we're all talking to each other. And then the most recent one we got was at the world's largest ghost hunt, which blew my mind. And I asked, what's it like to be dead? And we got clear as day. Spirit box got quiet, everything free, clear as day. That
Really?
for me is amazing because it's helping answering some of my questions of fear of dying. I'm deathly afraid. So
Really?
to know free sounded good.
That's good. So yeah, speaking of the world's biggest ghost hunt, or the question, could you talk a little bit about the world's biggest ghost hunt and what your thoughts on it? Would they recommend other groups doing it?
You know, I've been trying to get into the world's large ghost hunt for 4 years, but obviously I didn't have a team. Finding the team is one of the hardest things I think about the paranormal, and finding people you can trust and respect, and people that respect those who have passed on. So this year I had a team. We were able to enter. We were able to participate. It's an amazing event. I thought to, my team, I'm going to take you guys somewhere easy. It's a nice haunt, General Aswell Mansion. But then I forgot that the world's largest ghost hunt was opening portals all over the place. So we got more than we bargained for. But the world's largest ghost hunt, I can never pronounce her last name, Maria. I believe she's the huge committee. She's the owner of it. It's an amazing event. It's amazing. So much para-unity. There was so much help and understanding and explanation before we started this. They talked about the metaphysical. While we were at the mansion, we all were physically attacked emotionally. And the world's largest ghost hunt committee was there. They had a medium on the phone for us. They had us praying. They had us doing whatever we needed to do to get these attachments out of us. We felt a lot of pain and sorrow and hurt. And I would recommend that anybody who's into paranormal investigations sign up for this event. They do it once a year. And it's just amazing. And we got to know people from all over the world in different techniques of paranormal investigation that we're going to adapt from our team for maybe somebody in India and how they do things differently.
Right.
But it's amazing. And I suggest everybody register. We're already registered for next year for Randolph County Asylum, Chester.
Oh, nice.
Got home, I think 2 days after we booked it, and after we were done, I said, I'm booking it. So I recommend, go to World's Largest Ghost Hunt on Facebook, read about it, nationalghosthuntingday.com, read about it. They do a lot of things throughout the year, but it is a must enter event. It's amazing. It's amazing. I couldn't say enough. I cried when we found out we were involved in
Oh,
it.
really? Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
And Walter has another question. He goes, have you ever had a demonic presence or interaction? And if so, how do you deal with that?
That's a question that breaks me down.
Yes, we have had an experience like that, and that was at Octagon Hall. We all decided to go take a trip up into the attic, and that probably was not the right thing to do.
Oh,
What was before we went, I politely demand my team research their asses off.
right.
The land, the history of the town, who lived in a home before the home was built, where the building materials came from. I demand research. And I got fixated on a soldier named Edward, who, long story short, he got shot in the leg, crawled up into the basement to hide, and he died there.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I felt his pain and sorrow for months before we even went. And when we got there, I remember going up into the attic, and it was a regular ladder. So we were all afraid going up this regular ladder into an attic in an octagon-shaped house. And that's all I remember. That's all I remember. They said that I told them my ears were hot, and then all hell broke loose. I put everybody at risk.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Prior to doing that, I remember what I did. I took off my rosary and I tried a theory and I just let go. So Christina could probably tell you better what happened because I try not to think about it.
Right.
It hurts. It hurts.
So what was that like for you, Christina?
Scary.
Yeah.
Especially for her first investigation. I threw her to the sharks.
It was scary. You know, there was a lot more people there that were a lot more experienced than me, but when it had started happening, everybody just kind of freaked out. Nobody really knew what to do, and everybody just kind of looked at me like, hey, you know her the best. Can you help her in a kind of way, you know? So, you know, all I could hear was, you know, one of the other team members we were with was telling everybody that we needed to get her out of the house. I had to fight with her for about 10 minutes just to get her to crawl down the ladder because she was just trying to walk straight down. She didn't want to leave. When I finally got her down, I had to pretty much hold on to her arm and almost drag her out while she's screaming and yelling, I can't leave them. I can't leave them. They're going to die. And just all types of things. It was very scary. I took her outside. Two of the other team members we were with ended up putting holy water on her and saved her. She was fine. We waited a couple minutes, went back in the house, and it all started all over again. And at the time, one of the team members that we had with us, he was black, and he was sitting at the other end of the kitchen table in there. She's sitting at one end, he's sitting at the other. All of us are on the side, and she just had the most evilest look. I can't even explain it to you. She told the guy at the other end of the table that he shouldn't be here. He needed to get up and leave. She got to the point to where she got up out of her chair and was getting ready to go after him. So I had to physically stand in front of her and tell her, you're not going over there. You're not passing me. And she got upset, so she turns around and looks at the Confederate flag, puts her hands behind her back, and just stood there the same exact way that a soldier would stand looking at a flag. It was very creepy.
And I'm Latina.
So, yeah, it took one of the other team members that we were with, the way she raised her voice and the things that she was saying to her, she actually ended up getting her to snap out of it. And after that, I think we all were pretty much done for the night.
Yeah. I think I'm done right now myself. Having to hear that.
Yeah, it was a 2-hour process.
We found out. We called Shannon Humphrey from Old County Paranormal called the facility the next day to tell the caretaker what happened. And apparently on that Saturday night, the day after we went, they had to remove 4 people from the house and had to have the Octagon Hall cleansed. That place is no joke. That place was built, I don't know, 1800s, and the Confederates came, and then the Union Army came, and it was kind of a hideout. So tens of thousands of soldiers were there, dead. They had slave quarters, a kitchen outside, and the slaves would walk in and whistle on the way in so that the owners know, hey, they're not eating my food. So it was interesting when we took our black friend with us, African American, I want to be politically correct here, and he was protected the whole time. Every time I made a joke about that man, we got a response back from the recorders, leave him alone, just go. And I was like, and I heard it one time, a disembodied voice, and I said, are you telling me to leave him a go? And the obelisk goes off and goes, right. Like the whole time. But he stayed in the leather shop where the slaves would work. Mm-hmm. He continued down in that basement, and we just I don't know. It still bothers me to this day. I mean, to lose 45 minutes of time, that's bad. That's scary.
Yeah.
So you should go to
No, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I lived in a house with a lot of paranormal activity, and that was enough for me.
Yeah.
But, so what happened to your friend? Did he experience anything at all?
You know, it's funny because I've heard this a lot since I've been in the paranormal, that African American people are afraid to ghost hunt.
Right.
So I invited a friend. He was a little scared when we pulled up. I think we all were when we saw how creepy it was. and I made him walk through the door first. I wanted to see if his body language changed. So he was kind of like this, you know. He walked through that door first. And when he got his right foot over the threshold, his whole body just like they're letting me in this house. Like he was happy the whole time. We're upstairs experiencing balls moving. We're capturing it on video. We're freaking out from all these noises going on and what I had just done. And this cool, calm, and collective.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So it, in a way, we kind of, in a way, prove people wrong. Don't say that, someone is afraid to ghost hunt or investigate because of the color of their skin.
Right.
That's something I don't like,
Right.
So, but he was fine all night. It kind of pissed me off.
He was a little bit too fine.
Yeah, it was too fine.
Yeah. So you mentioned other team members. Who else do you have on your team, and what do they do? Do they have certain roles to play?
Right now we're trying someone out. Her name is Lizanne Whitaker. If it wasn't for Lizanne, we had car problems and we almost didn't make it to the world's largest ghost hunt. So if it wasn't for her, we would have not have made it. So right now she's trying out for the team. She's got 2 more investigations to go with us before we decide to put her on the team or not, because we want to make sure that we blend well. We want to make sure that we know each other, our body, reactions and our facial figures to things like that. I've had other people on my team and it just didn't work out. Some people were faking evidence, and the hardest thing for me to call them out all over social media. And you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
So right now it's me and Christina. We do a lot of ghost hunting with Oldham County Paranormal, and then we invite other friends around. So, it's small. It seems like we get someone on, they do something stupid, or they just, oh, you're going to World's Largest Ghost Hunt. I'll be on your team, but I don't want to help promote or push anything. And I say, well, you got to go. Have a nice day. It's called a team for a reason.
Right.
But for 4 years, it's pretty much been me.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah. Like my main thing is doing the Bigfoot thing, and I think people out there, and I'm like, I'll never take this guy out here again with me. I'll never bring him out again.
Yeah.
Some people just they act stupid. I'll just say that right now. They act stupid, or they get out there, and this is like especially when you go out there, you're camping and you're getting in kayaks or whatever. They're like, we got to go all the way out there. We got to go all the way out there. I got a paddle. Like, yeah, your ass got a paddle. Or like, man, it's hot. I'm like, we're out in the damn woods. Of course it's hot. So I'm like, man, I'm not taking people's asses like that no more. Had a guy shoot his gun up in the air because he said he heard some noises one night. I'm like, you're the only idiot that heard anything. You're not coming out here anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
We'd love to go hunting one day.
And you know what? Sometimes it's not for everyone. Whether it's paranormal, Bigfooting, UFOs. People might go out there and they might decide, you know what, I want to do it, and that's fine. I'd rather them do that than to go out there and act like a damn idiot. And
right.
And you were talking about faking evidence, and man, I can't stand that either. And the worst thing about I don't want to call it faking is there are people who see things that aren't there. And they're like, yeah, there's something right here. They're drawing circles and pointing arrows and drawing eyes and noses and mouths on it. I'm like, dude, that's nothing. And if you got to do all of that, then you shouldn't be presenting it as evidence.
Yeah, that's very true. With me, when it comes to pictures, debunking is hard. You got to debunk before you start an experiment, debunk again after experiment, debunk these pictures. I take my pictures to well-known photographers, and I say, hey, anything in this picture that shouldn't be here that you see, I'll take it that far. I had somebody fake some evidence at Waverly one time, and I kind of knew it was fake, but I just wanted to double check, and damned if I wasn't right, and I just don't get that.
Wow.
It makes me want, how are you going to respect your family when they die? Are you going to disrespect them too, just like this? Because for me, it's disrespecting. Extremely disrespecting, as well as lying. If you don't get nothing, you don't get nothing. Call it a day. I've been on hunts. We recently one time went to Randolph County, and the guy we went with, he put too many people in there, so there was way too much noise contamination. So
Right.
we had to toss out all evidence.
Right.
You know, it
Yeah.
happens.
Right.
You're gonna catch something or you're not, but you got to be patient.
Yeah. And I tell people that with with the Bigfooting thing, I said sometimes you're just going out there and you're just going to end up camping. You're not going to catch anything. You're not going to hear any vocals, any wood knocks. You're not going to catch any kind of, you know, it's really hard to catch footprints. Which if you're going out there looking for footprints, you're not going to find them. It's I go out there. I think in 12 years I found three prints. Um,
Wow.
yeah. So.
I'm all for the Bigfoot hunting, but once the dark starts coming, you can find me at the closest Holiday Inn.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna do my research online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be the base camp from the hotel, guys.
There you go. Yeah. Snoring away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me. I can sleep anywhere.
That's good. So what do you guys have coming up? Do you guys have any investigations coming up? Any big plans that you can talk about?
We're looking to get into Bobby Mackey's. We just got home from vacation this weekend. We still have some things to do before we get settled at home for the winter. But we're looking at Bobby Mackey's, and if we can't get in there, we have a lot of stuff planned for 2022. We don't want to give too much away right now. But if we don't do Bobby Mackey's, we're pretty much done for this year.
Okay.
We've been on some very exhausting investigations this year, so mentally we're still trying to pull it together, and we still have evidence all the way back from May to go through. On top of the world's largest ghost hunt, we have to submit all our evidence by a certain date so they can air it live in Vegas if we've caught anything. So we have a lot of catching up to do. So I don't think if we don't do Bobby Mackey's, there'll be anything else this year. Unfortunately.
Right. No, not well. I mean, you got the holidays coming up and stuff like that. So it's going to be packed, and a lot of these places get packed right about now anyway too. So especially with Halloween coming up, and then with the holidays, like I said, they definitely get packed. So yeah. So you guys have like a bucket list of places that you might want to go? Maybe you have like a top 3 or 4, maybe 5 places that you're thinking about going to.
Yeah, we do. We actually were going to go a few places while we're on vacation in Massachusetts. But after we got there, I realized, I hadn't seen my family in 4 years, and family's more important to me than anything. So we didn't do any. Plus, my mother doesn't like it, so we made sure not to do any.
Oh, really?
Right. We're planning on Lizzie Borden House next year. Obviously, the Conjuring House is now out since they're selling it, unless they plan to open it for investigations. We're also looking at Wilson Castle. We did go there on our trip. Gillette Castle, Bobby Mackey's. We'll be back at Randolph, back at Octagon Hall, and a couple other places. But I'm really, really looking forward to going back to Octagon Hall, and I don't know why.
Yeah, why would you want to go back there?
I still have unfinished business with Edward.
Okay.
I want to know his story. I want to get a police detective to draw the picture of him that I see in my mind.
Oh yeah.
But I see him all the time, and I wonder, like, how did you do that for 3 days? I know you suffered, and I know you suffered bad.
Right.
So I still kind of want to go back. We were there. We only investigated a little bit in the basement and then a little bit upstairs, and we still missed a lot of rooms. That's how
Really?
busy it was in hours.
Yeah.
It just stopped.
Yeah. What about you, Christina? Would you look forward to that trip?
What do you think?
You looking forward to the trip?
Yes, definitely.
Really? Okay. So when you guys go out, do you guys do anything to protect yourselves?
Yeah. We pray beforehand. I wear rosary. I'm very Catholic. I will fight people who give me shit about being Catholic, and it happens a lot.
Right.
So I simply wear my rosaries, and Christina also wears a rosary. I'm not a believer in stones, not to hurt anyone's feelings or anything, but that's just not me.
Right. Yeah. I'm a stone guy.
Oh, sorry,
And I'm a
Joe.
stoner guy too, but I'm
How do I get out of this?
See you guys later.
Yeah.
I like
It's nice
I
talking
like
to
my
you, man.
get the hell off this podcast, right? Yeah. No, man, it's okay. I mean, that's different people have their different, you know,
Yep.
yeah, they do different things. I believe in my stones. I trust in them. So, I
Right.
was born and raised Catholic, but my faith has certainly dwindled away over the years. Maybe because I'm older and meaner. I don't know, but
Older.
yeah, older and meaner, more sarcastic. I guess I don't know,
I feel like I'm
cynical,
getting older and nicer.
older and nicer. I think I'm gonna be a grumpy old man. That's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be a grumpy old man. Be the
But
one
you
out
know,
of turn.
well, people deserve that right when they get to that point. They've
That's
lived a long
right.
time. Like, I'll be
Yeah,
50 next year, so I can be grumpy all I want.
I'll be 50 next week.
Oh God, no way. See, us
Yeah, yeah.
Latin too. We look good for our age.
You look good as shit, man. Shit. I run
We
every
know.
day, so yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be the old guy yelling at the kids, "Get off my lawn!"
Before I get Bigfoot from my backyard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's yeah, man. I love doing the Bigfoot stuff. And if you guys ever get the opportunity to do it, y'all should do it. Um,
We're excited to try to do that.
yeah.
We're going to work on that a little bit next summer.
Have you guys ever done anything outside, like investigation, like in the woods or cemeteries, or?
Um, I don't. My family is okay with what I'm doing as
Mhm.
far as paranormal investigation, but they're not okay with it. They support my decisions and what I do in life, and I love them for that.
Right.
But cemeteries is something I promised I would never do.
Okay.
That's a big no-no. But I have done outdoor investigations. I studied the Mothman for 6 weeks in Point Pleasant. Um, fished off the bridge that he supposedly collapsed, and got some good EVPs out there. I've done a outside investigation in Cincinnati for a woman who was murdered by her husband. But the woods, I did that with the Mothman, and I think I made it 500 feet, and I ran out, and I was good.
Really?
I went back during the day, and I was still freaked out. But yeah, if the rest of my team, Christina or whoever else we add, would like to go to try to do cemeteries, that's
Uh-huh.
something that you have to do on their own, not without me. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Mhm.
Okay.
No
Yeah, yeah.
worries.
Because one thing I always tell people is like, um, I think a lot of times like some of the stuff that happens in the woods gets well bad. That was Bigfoot. There was a rock thrown at me, a stick thrown at me, or I hear footsteps, or I'm hearing voices. I think some of that is paranormal. You know, and
Yeah.
not saying that Bigfoot doesn't do that or not, or that he's responsible for some of that. Um,
Hmm.
but I think some of that is paranormal, and I've had friends actually go out in the woods and actually like catch EVPs. Um, and I don't know where you guys stand on with orbs, but plenty of people have seen orbs. Yeah,
I'm
so I
still
think there's
learning.
a lot more paranormal that goes on out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. People always ask me, Angelina, where can I go to investigate? And I'm like, you know what? Sit at a bus stop. I'm sort of a dead person sitting next to you. They're everywhere. They're not just in haunted buildings and everything, but I believe they're in the woods. This is a funny story. We were driving one day during COVID and learning our way around Kentucky, and I saw a big snapping turtle in the road, and it was big. I'm a city girl. I'm from Massachusetts, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" So I try to like go pick it up, and some guy jumps out of his car and goes, "Don't do that! It'll bite your head off." But we got a recording. I got really close to the turtle, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And all of a sudden, you hear, "I hate this fucking bitch," just like that.
No shit.
Hear me. It's on our TikTok and I think in our page, but ever since I started getting into the paranormal, when I'm out videotaping or I'm out fishing, for instance, with the Mothman investigation fishing, and I'm talking to the people who died on the bridge that fell down, and I get EVPs. This turtle was just like, "I don't like you, you fucking bitch," and I'm like, "Did you hear what that said?" Yeah, blew my mind. And it was in the middle of a Civil War area, where we were, but what the hell? And I said
Yeah,
that out to 100 people, Can you
right.
guys hear what he said? So I
Yeah,
believe
that's crazy. Yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
And that's crazy.
We
It seems like some of these spirits like to use cuss words to communicate. You
had
know,
that recently at General Astro Stone Mansion for the world's largest ghost hunt. We got bullshit a lot. And I'm thinking, wait, these were two, a couple that lived there with a wife's brother. The guy was a narcissist, but we kept getting bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And we don't know if that was coming from somewhere else because there's so many portals they open. But we got that all night long on the portal. Bullshit. We'd ask a question, bullshit.
really,
What the hell?
A couple times we got
Yeah.
too.
A couple times we got fuck you.
really.
Yeah, you want to talk to him? Fuck you. Finally, at 4 o'clock in the morning, we said, "Do you want us to leave?" And it said, "Go." And we packed up and left. So yeah, we've got swore at before, and just recently at Randolph, I think we were there in May. I got a Spanish speaker come through in the portal, and they were telling me colors, and I called one of the staff members and I said, at Randolph County, was there ever any Latin people that stayed there? And they told me, yes, as a matter of fact, there was. There used to be a Campbell soup factory there, and a lot of Mexicans would come up during season and work at the soup factory and stay at the Randolph County Infirmary. And I was like, well, that's interesting because I got a lot of Spanish on my portal box. And that was interesting in
Really?
itself. Thank you, understood it.
I did too.
Huh.
Yeah, but that's so there's one day I'd like to go out and just do the whole investigation in Spanish. So my team better start
Yeah.
getting their Spanish going.
Okay, that's good. Well, I'll be useless to you if I ever go with you. I don't speak Spanish very well. I'm a coconut.
Oh, you're a coconut.
Yeah, I'm a coconut. I'm a coconut man.
It's okay to be a coconut.
Yeah, I'm a coconut. My
Yeah,
boss asked me that.
they better learn up on it, or I'll be having these spirits do things to them they didn't have no clue I said.
There you go. There you go.
I,
Well,
I, I use I use them a lot in experiments, and Christina's really good at it. The last girl, Lizanne, that was with us, she was willing to do anything. They were not willing to go in the basement unless I clicked the light on as we went through. So we're getting there.
I had a reason for that though.
Okay.
I had actually, when we were doing the world's largest ghost hunt, we forgot something upstairs, and she was like, asked one of us if we wanted to go get it.
I wasn't going. I was too scared, Joe.
Nobody would say anything, so I'm like, I guess I'll go get it. Big mistake. I walked up there. I walked up the stairs to the second floor. I went in the room, got what it was that I needed. As soon as I got in that room, I felt like eyes were on me. And
Really?
as I was going out and going back down the stairs, there was a room right at the top of the stairs to the left. And I literally got the crap scared out of me because I felt like somebody was following me. And I literally just hauled ass down the stairs.
We heard her walking up very slow, and then all of a sudden you hear boom, 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 all the way down the staircase.
Yeah, I got scared. Something was following me up there.
And immediately, which was weird, she started kind of getting angry, and she said, "Excuse my French, I'm not fucking going in the basement." So from going upstairs to coming down, I would be saying I'm not going upstairs, but something about the basement just hit her. And so I actually got them to finally go in the basement as we were exiting the building, as long as they're standing about 500 feet behind me as I'm going through these dark rooms, finding the lights to flip them on. But she did it, she
Okay.
did.
Good. Good.
I'm a team lead that likes to challenge. Let
Right.
me put you to your most biggest fear and let me help you conquer. Because I believe in paranormal investigation, I've learned so much about myself. It's unbelievable. and it's amazing what you learn about yourself.
Yeah. So what is it that you guys are hoping to accomplish?
I'm hoping to accomplish knowing that when I die and I'm cremated, that wherever my ashes are thrown, I want them to be thrown in a river because I love to fish. I want to know if that's what I can do in my afterlife.
Okay.
That's what I'm out to accomplish.
What about you, Christina?
I'm just curious where you go when you die. That's my biggest thing, and I only wonder that because I had a son that passed in 2009, and I want to know where he is. I want to know if he's happy, if he's safe, if he's being taken care of. Like,
Yeah.
so my goal is it's pretty much the same. I want to know as well what happens to us when we die.
Right. Yeah. November 4th, I'm gonna have a friend on who actually passed away twice. And he's gonna tell a story about what he saw. Yeah. At like 2 different times in his life. Uh, he had two near death experiences, if that's what you want to call it. I don't want to give
Yeah.
too much, but yeah, y'all tune in for that. And but his story is a little bit crazy. It's not the typical story, but
It is. I
yeah,
have had, so I've been there a few times myself, and it's something I'll never talk about ever.
okay,
It
yeah,
was just a big thing.
okay,
But I'd be interested in that
yeah,
podcast.
okay, yeah. I'll be sure to shoot you a message and let you know, and just to remind you that it's gonna come on. It'll be November 4th. Um, like what advice would you have? You have some new people coming in. They want to start doing this. They want to create a team. What's some advice you would give them?
Don't just put someone on your team because you're friends with them or because they're a family member or because you might get along with them. Make sure the people that you're finding are respectful, honest, dedicated. They know what the word team means. And just make sure that you can vibe with them and make sure they understand the basic rules. Don't take off by yourself. That's a big one. That's something that's hard for me to do. For me too, when I hear something, I'm just off and running.
Right.
And now I have a small little team together, and they chase me. Hey, where are you going? But find people that are in this for a reason, not just in it because they watch the TV shows and think they're going to get fame and fortune. Because I don't allow my team. It's not that I don't allow them, but I tell them don't watch those shows because those are all edited. If you want to watch it, go on YouTube and watch a 4-hour live feed that somebody's doing. That's real.
Right.
So just be careful in who you pick and don't add them to your team. I have a rule of you go on 3 investigations with us, then you become an honorary member. You go on 3 more and we're still meshing. I'm going to hand you a T-shirt or a sweatshirt and say, welcome to the team.
Hmm.
That's how
Yeah.
I feel about it. And if you don't put in any teamwork, you got to go.
Right. Right.
You got to go. So I think I try to be a good team lead. I try. It was a little difficult, the World's Hardest Ghost Hunt, because I had 2 new people, but I left them alone for 20 minutes on purpose a little bit, and then a little bit because I had to go, and they carried Bad to the Bone right through to the end and did an amazing job.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Like,
What
bye.
about you, Christina? What advice would you give somebody?
What advice would you give somebody that wants to join a team?
I would definitely have to agree with a lot of what she said. Be careful who you pick. Don't just throw people on your team, because people can be good at disguising a lot of things, and we've ran across that a couple times. So it's definitely important to pay attention to who you are picking and choosing to put on your team.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell people where they can find your page or your group or YouTube channel.
So they can find us. They can just Google Bad to the Bone Paranormal Researchers. Our Twitter will pop up. Our all of our social media is the same. Bad to the Bone Paranormal. We're on Twitter. We just started a TikTok, which is hitting pretty fast. We are on YouTube. We're still working our YouTube. We are on parapost.net, which is an amazing website for anyone into the paranormal, Bigfoot and UFOs, to interact so that people get location. We're on Instagram. So yeah, just Google Back to the Bone Paranormal, find us, and our group page on Facebook is private. We do that for a reason because of trolls. So I don't want to wake up every morning and people are saying bad things to somebody. So we do approve comment. Other
Yeah.
than that, you can go back to the Bone Paranormal and you'll find us,
Yeah.
Sometimes people say, "Oh, there goes bad to no." They say, "There goes Angelina from Scared to the Bone running down it."
Scared to the bone. I like that.
You
I
know?
like that. I like
So,
it.
and
Where did you get Bad to the Bone at? Where'd you get that name from?
here's a funny story. Me and my friend doing some work at Post Town. Part of me living there, maintain the building, for investigation. And we went next door to the didn't have any hats or gloves, and we bought some hats and gloves at the Bone. So we said, "Hey, let's start Back to the Bone Paranormal," and that's where that came from. Dollar General, $5
Oh, really?
hats.
Okay. That's pretty good. I like
And
that.
it's good. So, or people can hit hashtag BTTB. We come up. Yeah, just Google Bad to find us.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite songs. But you guys are starting to break up on me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are freezing up.
Oh,
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite songs. So when I saw that, I was like, oh man, I wonder if they got that for George Thorogood.
no, but it's
Yeah.
weird because I was like, I hope they don't come and say use that name.
Right. Yeah.
So we added the researchers.
There you go. I like that.
So
Yeah, that's
that
pretty
song
good.
too.
Yeah.
We thought
The, uh, the,
small trailer. We'll see what happens.
or you can play it when you enter your investigations. Yeah.
No, we are beyond.
Well, cool, guys. That's really about it. Unless you guys have anything you want to add, anything you want to say, or do you have anything you want to say to the people? And
We just want to thank you for hitting us up and inviting us to your podcast. We've been
yeah,
watching it. You're an
cool.
amazing guy. You've got a lot of people on that we see that we like and we admire
Okay.
in the paranormal field. And we're learning a lot about crypto and Bigfoot and UFOs and all that different stuff from watching your show. So we appreciate you and we appreciate you having us on the show. And everybody needs to go follow you and hit you up
That,
for an
that's probably the best thing anyone's ever said on this show. You need to go follow me. Yeah, there you go. Cool, man. And if you guys want to share anything on my page, share away, okay? You guys are more than welcome to share your experiences. You got your YouTube channels, whatever you want to share, TikTok, you got an investigation going on, you want to go live, do that, man, you guys are welcome to do it. Okay? And everyone in the chat room who participated, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. You had some great questions. And Walter and Lupe, you
Yeah,
guys
thanks.
are,
Thank
yeah,
you, Brian, for post.net. We see ya.
yeah. All right, guys, y'all have a good night.
All
Thanks,
right, you
Joe.
too.
Have a good
Thanks.
night. Bye, everybody.
Bye.